everybody. It's your old pal Jesse again, and welcome back to another edition of Gen X Thinks. And today we're going to talk about the 7 worst things about society today. Before we get into that, I'd like to invite you to support the channel by buying me a cup of coffee. I'll leave the link in the description if you choose to do so. Thank you very much. 7 worst things about society today. Number 7. Seems like everything's got an agenda. Well, an extra agenda. Back when we were kids, companies and the news and whatever, all these things, they all have one agenda. They're businesses, they're trying to make money. They're trying to market something to us and get something from us, money, our time, whatever. Nowadays, though, with beer commercials and Disney movies and stuff, they're pushing these other agendas out to try to make these sociological changes that don't need to be made, in my opinion. That's just something I see the shift in that direction, and it doesn't look good to me. It doesn't look like a future I want to be in when companies with a lot of economic clout can support one or the other ideology. Even them supporting one political faction over the other, a faceless, soulless company, that's not right, in my opinion. These things should be decided by the people, not billion-dollar corporations without any soul or any skin in the game. This is our world, our country, our lives. It shouldn't be decided by what business can throw the most money at a certain topic. And that's how I feel about that. And I have a hunch that a lot of y'all will agree with me. Number 6, people hide behind a Wi-Fi router now. Like they use it like a shield, to insult people on the other side of the planet, or, anonymously throw these insults and be disrespectful and all this stuff. Of course, we've seen this for years, ever since the advent of the internet, really. They were probably doing it in chat rooms back in the late 90s and early 2000s. But still, it's just pathetic. Again, there are no consequences. They've got no skin in the game. They're going to sit there and type or say some stuff that's completely disrespectful. They should get punched in the head for, but there's no consequences for it. They're going to go have a cookie and a glass of milk and then go sleep like a baby while the other person has no recourse. And that's something I've never done. I've just never insulted people online. I would just feel weak and pathetic by doing that. Personally, there's no strength, no honor, no respect in that whatsoever. You're stripping yourself of all that when you just jump into somebody else's conversation and start insulting them because you want to be a troll or whatever the reason. Number 5, men are hated now for every reason except for the reasons they should be hated. We're hated for toxic masculinity, which is just masculinity. There's no such thing as toxic masculinity. This is the kind of stuff that you'd laugh at this stuff if it was in a fictional book or movie or something, like that movie Idiocracy. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that's funny when it's not real. It's just so blatantly ridiculous that it's funny. Toxic masculinity, and this crap like, what do they call it? Minor attracted persons. We're quickly moving to the point where if you see a guy pulling a kid off the street into a van and you start yelling, hey, help me save that kid, people are going to start shouting you down, talking about, oh, that's hate speech. You can't say that. He's a minor attracted person. That's where we're headed. That kind of weird shit. Just minor attracted person. But a regular guy going to work and earning a living is toxic. It's so ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. A veteran who's coming home and on disability and gave part of his body for his country is toxic. But a minor attracted person, he's marginalized, and If I wasn't Gen X, I'd be infuriated by this kind of crap, but I don't care. Let them burn it down. Number 4, everything has chemicals in it. I remember, reading the ingredient list on foods when I was a kid, and there were always a couple, of Montichloral sulfate or whatever on there. Okay. Now, that's 90% of the list. And then after the list, and you read a couple other things, and down below there's something else at the bottom of a lot of it now that's just some weird genetically altered stuff. And they don't tell us what it is. Like, I'm not responsible enough to, put what I want to in my body, eat what I want, do what I want. I'm not smart enough. I'm not whatever. They got to hide it behind this weird language. What I'm eating, purchasing with my hard-earned food and eating, being treated with that kind of contempt. It's not, and I don't care who you are, being treated with contempt by the companies that you are financially supporting is not good. It's not good for society. It's not a good direction for our society to move into. And I keep reading where all the countries of Europe have banned all this stuff. But here in America, because those big companies who are treating us with contempt are lobbying our politicians to pass the laws that allow them to treat us with contempt. And our politicians are such good liars, we can't tell the good ones from the bad ones anymore. 3, plastic bags and bottles. I specifically remember when they were harping on the fact that the paper bags were going to destroy the planet, that we can't replace the trees fast enough. It's just crazy. We got to move to plastic. And I bought that stuff. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, killing trees is bad. I'm not saying killing trees is good. Chopping down trees all over the place, deforestation and all this crap. I'm not saying that's good. But they can replant and regrow those kind of trees really fast now. But somebody, I guarantee you, made a lot of money when they switched to plastic bags. There's a company out there that made just a crap ton of money. And the companies that switched saved a lot of money because those plastic bags can be compressed down into tiny little areas, and because they're so thin, and save them a lot in shipping and all that stuff. So now that I look back, I realized that was all about money. That wasn't about saving the environment, none of that. But I personally bought into it. I thought plastic bags were going to save the trees and the environment. Now they're destroying the trees and the environment. Now I'm reading all over the place that those things don't go away. They make it into the ocean and kill the wildlife. Where those good old-fashioned paper bags, they just disintegrated and went back to the earth. We're lied to and lied to and lied to. Now, as I mentioned in one of my other videos, these plastic bottles, we used to just drink out of the hose, drink out of the faucet. Water was good for you. Water was good. Now, we're not supposed to drink that water because of all the poisons that we spray onto the land, and it gets down into the water, fertilizers and bug killers and weed killers and all this stuff. So now we're supposed to drink all this bottled water, and all these bottles are collecting in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Let's go back to the paper. Nope. And why? Because it would cost money. Their profits next year would only go up by 1.3% instead of 1.5%. They wouldn't lose money, they just wouldn't make as much money, and they can't have that. Number 2, marriage is very hard these days because of outside reasons, economic to be specific. Economics is what makes marriage so hard these days. That's my honest opinion. Now, you might have a different opinion, but the world I see, where women were forced out into the labor pool and you were basically shamed if you thought that you wanted to be a mom and stay home. Now, it's okay to shame a woman for wanting to be a mom and stay home, but it's not okay to shame a dude by calling him a dude. They've made it financially impossible for one person to go out and make a living and support a family. Because back not so long ago, in the 70s and 80s, a person could go out and do a physically demanding job and earn enough money to make a living and support a family with just a physically demanding job, say a lumberjack or a construction worker or something like that. Now it's impossible. You can't do that. And it's completely due to inflation. And we're making more money per hour now, say twice as much. I don't know how much, I didn't look it up, so don't. But let's just say twice as much per hour now. But stuff costs 3, 4, 5, 10 times more. So you can't do it alone. Not support and raise a family without some kind of help. And we have that kind of stress with both people working full-time jobs, both people trying to raise kids, both people, where's the time for each other? And both people trying to run the house, keep the house clean, keep the kids fed, do all this stuff. Where's the time for each other? I remember, and during my whole life, that a mom staying home and raising kids and taking care of the house, that was a full-time, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week job. One of the hardest jobs you can think of. Men don't want to do it. I wouldn't want to stay home and raise 3 kids. It would drive me nuts. But that's an honorable, used to be an honorable job that women could be proud of. And society turned it into something shameful. Nowadays, it seems like everything is fake or lies. When I grew up, if I saw something on TV and it was actual footage of something, it was real. It happened. I mean, they could maybe doctor still images back then, like that still capture of Bigfoot. We all seen the most famous one. So I don't know if that image is doctored or not. I'm just saying that it was possible to doctor images back then, but not video. You couldn't doctor video back then, not without it being obvious that it was doctored. Even if we saw something on TV, actually saw it happen, it was real. It happened. Nowadays, you're lucky. I mean, you have to see it with your own eyes in real life. That's the only way you can be sure. And then a lot of it, you still can't be 100% sure about a lot of stuff because of makeups and surgeries and all this stuff and all these different things. Because I used to watch this TV show about Hollywood makeup, special effects makeup artists, and they would do just crazy stuff that it was completely realistic looking. So I'm confident that they could make a Bigfoot look 100% realistic and then shoot video of him, or you can see him walking through the woods and you would think it was a Bigfoot. Technology's come so far, and now with the AI and stuff, it's hard to tell what's real or fake. And I'll leave you there on that note. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment down below with your thoughts. I love reminiscing and talking about things with you in the comment section, so please do that. And if you'd like to support the channel, I'll put a link down in the description where you can buy me a cup of coffee. Thank you very much, and stay frosty, Gen X. I'll see you on the next one.